so effective against like backcourt stuff.
Yeah, obviously the addition of Lance helps. Another really good ball handler out there. It's a guy that can get by someone in space, and another guy that's also will pass it. He's not afraid to kick it ahead. He's not afraid to stay behind the ball and move it. And then when you got another ball handler, Ethan, coming off the bench, it's just 3 to 4 to 5 ball handlers out there that all can beat the press. So you can space them out, and you guys Z down the road together. It's pretty tough.
Fletcher, you said Friday, if it wasn't for turnovers, only 8, and one of those was in the final minute tonight. Is this more indicative of what this team can do when you take care of the basketball?
Yeah, for sure. You see that lead from around 8 or 10 or 12, just go up to 20, then to 30. And when you're not turning the ball over, you're taking care of it, and you're out rebounding them, it's pretty easy to get those runs and get those leads up to 20 instead of back to 5.
Ethan, when you look at this team, is this maybe the most complete performance of the season from start to finish?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you could throw some of those games in Maui just because they might have been a little bit closer, but I think we had some pretty complete games. But I think from a defensive standpoint, we played 2 really good halves, and we did a good job of not getting chaotic in the second half. They kind of tried to like turn it up a little bit at the start, and like credit to Lance, you know, he took exactly what we said in the locker room about them coming out and pressuring, and he just flipped it on them. We just continued to get easy shots. That's a credit to our guys because, you know, like when you get a lead like that, like people can get thirsty, people want to get theirs, but like everybody just wanted to keep playing the right way. So it was a really good job by everybody.
Hey Ethan, you seem very intent to drive from the wing into the paint, play inside out that way. Why was that so important? It's what they were doing defensively.
You know, I just think we have so many great players on this team. Like sometimes you got to make a choice. And for me, you know, I've always been a lower volume guy, never shot it at a super high level. So, like, if I'm not, you know, and I'm confident, you know, I'm going to take and make my open ones. Obviously, it didn't go in tonight for me, but, you know, I feel good about it. But, like, busting those guys on closeouts, like, there's only so much they can do, especially with Zach in the paint. So just making plays for guys and kind of taking what they gave us. They were pretty spread out just from the press, so it was kind of there most of the night.
Ethan, question for you. Tonight you had 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just mentioned when team gets a big lead like that, guys kind of start hunting for their own shots. Is that where you kind of feel your role is with this team this year?
I'm just always going to make the right play and just do whatever we need, you know. Doesn't really matter, you know, who we're playing. You know, I think I've shown that I can kind of fill a lot of different roles in my time here. So just being able to adapt, but just making the right plays. Like I said, we have too many good players on this team for me to not want to make plays for guys. And they do a good job of encouraging me to be aggressive too. So I'm just going to keep doing that and hopefully have more games like this.
Ethan, one more for you. You're the guy that's been around the most, been here the longest. What do you see from this team this year? It's kind of coming together now as your team.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good group. You know, great addition sitting down the way. And we're just all a year older, I think, more experienced. We've been through the tough times. You know, I think we're a little more, I don't know if relaxed is the right word, but I feel like last year, you know, a lot of people talk about it like you get so uptight after a loss. And not that you shouldn't, like, be uptight after a loss because there's stuff you got to fix. But, like, it's not the end of the world. Like, it's a long season. Like, basketball is a game where those type of losses are meant to happen. Obviously, you never want them to happen, but they're meant to happen. So I'm just taking it one game at a time. Like, and, you know, we've always ultimately said, especially after last year, like, we want to play our best basketball in March. So, like, this is great. Obviously, Friday wasn't so great, but we're not going to be all, like, you know, high and mighty after, like, we beat these guys. You know, like, we got to come back to work this week, and we got some big games coming up. But it's just about playing, continuing to sustain this type of play into March and not fade when it gets to February and stuff like that. So.
Hey, Lance, right over here. So you're one of the newer guys, obviously, to the team being a transfer. So Mackey is still, I guess, kind of fresh to you. What kind of impact does this have? I mean, and I'm not necessarily asking you to compare to SIU or anything, but just the impact this has on the game with that type of environment.
I mean, having a crowd like that supports you is just top level. I can't describe it. I feel like, it gets better every time I play in there. And it's something I'll never take for granted. SIU is good, but, Mackey is on a different level.
Fletcher, just what was film study like Saturday? And what did you guys take out of that after going over the Northwestern game one more time?
Yeah, I'd say it was a lot more just focus on our defense and scouting report. I think we had a few mishaps that ended up going a long way with guys either getting to their sweet spots or guys coming off screens that we weren't supposed to let happen. And I think just kind of going into the night with more of a focus and more of a intended just outlook on our turnovers. We knew we had to take care of them when we win, and we knew they're a team that can come back in that second half. So just getting that second half surge.
Fletcher, there was a stretch in the first half, and really, the truth throughout the game, it seemed like every 3 hits we were getting back. Just, if you were on the wrong end of that, how debilitating would that be as an opponent?
Oh, I mean, it's tough. It's a lot of big bodies down there. It's a lot of guys rebounding and getting it back out there, and it's something you got to just hit the guy for go rebound. You're not trying to hit him to foul, but you're trying to hit him to bury him with the rim and try to get the ball.
And then, this can go to anyone really, but I assume that there were no balls thrown off the backboard in practice and no suicides run. Just talk about that response, and I know you guys are pretty level-headed, but just, talk about how you came out today and just dominated out after losing that first one.
I think it's just the mindset, like Ethan was saying. You don't want to get too high, too low. It's a long season. You gotta stay steady. You gotta trust each other. You gotta believe in each other. I think going into practice next day, you got another Big Ten game. Whether it's bottom of the Big Ten team or the top of the Big Ten team, you gotta get a win, and we want another win, and that's what we're fighting for right now.
Anything else? Thank you guys. Right on, everybody.